What is up, my beautiful D.D.D fan? It's your boy Drip back with another video and a spicy deck profile. And even though this is going to be kind of standard, but your boy took his own little twist on it for a couple of cards, just a couple of cards, because there's only so much you can do with this. And if you are a child, cover your ears. All right, good. Y'all's ears are covered that are children. Even though I never give y'all a warning before. Yeah, hell froze over. Your boy is playing a control deck. Hell legit froze over. After all the shit, let me sit down. After all the shit I've been given the control decks, I actually found one that I actually like. If you know me, then you know I'm a mid-range guy. That's what I like. Every now and then I'll tinker around with combo decks and stuff like that, but I'm mainly a mid-range guy. But if you're new here and you don't know me, decide to stick around and get to know me. Hit that like button, subscribe button, bell notification so you never miss an upload. Join the D.D.D fam. Check the description for Discord and all the other ways to support me, whether it's Patreon, Twitter, TikTok, all the good things down there and the juicy stuff down there below. Go check it out down below. Another thing I want to say real quick before we get into this video is I hate making profiles that are have proxies in them, but every time I talk to you guys, all of you all are like, don't worry about it. Just I want to see your list and what you run. Who cares about the people who have an issue with it? They don't like it, then they can leave. Well, you know what? I really like your outlook and thinking, and I really enjoy you all really wanting to see my list. So I really appreciate that, and I love you guys so much for that. Another thing, too, is I want to give a shout-out and a thanks to my teammates in Dawson and Miguel. This is their deck. There's some traps in there that are mine, but for the most part, like 90% of this deck is theirs. The half the extra deck is theirs, and all the main engine for Labrynth is theirs. So I want to give a shout out to them and thank them for allowing me to use their cards to either play or be able to make the list to give to you guys. So if you've been around the channel, you know who Dawson and Miguel are. Dawson has the best pull ratios when it comes to anything high rarity. And Miguel is the guy that he's like my brother. We always meme on him and stuff about the decks he plays, but he knows it's just out of love. It's not nothing for Jesus or anything like that. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into this video, guys. I've kept you waiting long enough. Let me see, make sure we're in frame and we're good. We are lit. Start off, we got three lady. This card is absolutely disgusting. Outside of her being a gorgeous waifu, and another reason why I really like the deck, because normally I don't really fall for the waifu tax, but unless it's Construct or Ecclesia. But I fell for it with her, and then I decided to tinker with the deck. Originally, one thing I'll tell you too, if you want to know, most of y'all, some of y'all who want to just see the list, you probably don't want to know, but people at D.D.D fam want to know. I originally only started tinkering with this deck, not really because I wanted to play it, but because I wanted to learn how to play against it. Like I said in my video of how to side deck and all that and play in competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! If you haven't seen that video, you can check the channel to go watch that. I started playing it to learn how to counter it. And then I fell in love with this card in particular, and another card that I'll mention when we get further into the deck. Paired with these two, like, is just really nasty. But lady's really nasty. Being able to chain to your opponent's stuff, and she can't be targeted or destroyed by card effect if you have a set card, is really nasty. And the quick effect, it's just she's overall, like, and refilling your traps. She basically defies what trap decks are, because normally trap decks just die because outside of their first wall that they put up, if you break through that or they burn through their resources, they're like in a simplified game state, and then they rely on top decks. She ignores that. Then 3 Ariana. I'm running 3. I know a lot of people run 2. This is one of the proxies, by the way. The reason why I run 3 is, yes, you want to keep your monster count down, but at the same time of keeping your monster count down, yes, she's a monster, but she's also an engine piece too, so she's pseudo a trap at the same time. So what she gets you into your traps as of where you're relying on drawing them, and without her and her, they basically pair off of each other to where they can get you into more engine, and engine being labyrinth traps or normal traps. So I opted to run 3 of her. I haven't had an issue where I clog on her. Sometimes even with that 3, I still have an issue where I never see her enough, which is frustrating. And her effect too, the be on your opponent's turn to be able to draw and either set it or especially summon a fiend is really freaking nice. It's really, really nice. Definitely when you keep your monster count down, you run a lot of traps, you're almost guaranteed to draw a trap to be able to set it, which is really, really gross and gets you further ahead, because with these two like working together and bouncing off of one another, it starts snowballing really fast and it's hard to slow it down. Then I do run one lovely because of waifu tax. No, I'm just kidding. Because I really, you know my decks, and you know that my playstyle is I like building for the grind game, and I like building mid-range decks. Hence why I like mid-range decks, even though this is a control deck. This card is so important in the grind, it's absolutely disgusting. And making it to where your opponent can't activate monster effects in response to your normal traps is absolutely crucial. Because if you find a way to get these 3 in rotation and just these 2 in field and Lady and Lovely, it's almost too hard for your opponent to come back. Definitely in game 1. Game 2 and 3, if they see they're non-engine, then yeah, that's just how it is. But when you get these 2 paired up, it's really nasty. And being able to hand rip cards is disgusting, or pop cards on the field. That's another reason why I hate saying this, because if you know me, you know I play cash. But this deck just eats cash alive. Um, because all the traps, they just do so much. And then Lovely being able to pop the berth and never letting the berth basically be on the field is so ridiculous. And it's, I don't know, man. It's real. These 2, either whether it's cash or not, these 2 are just very good when they're paired together, and definitely when you have all 3 in rotation, it's just crazy. But that's it for the Labrynth monsters. I'm sorry if I'm not moving too fast for you. If you're new here, I like giving my explanations and my reasoning for things. I'm not just going to throw a list at you. I want to set you up and let you know what I know and what I've learned from playing the deck so far. So, for some more monsters, 3 Ash. Some people don't play this in the main, and I don't understand why. It's absolutely crucial in the mirror match to stop the welcome or big welcome. It's an FTK against branded if they're not playing around it, and it's just it trades so well in this format. The only deck that it's mid against is Cash, and even then it's not that mid, because we don't give a crap if they rip our extra deck with Unicorn, because our extra deck doesn't really matter outside of a couple of cards. But yeah. Last monster in the main deck is the one Lord of Heavenly Prison. This is another proxy I got. Uh, Lord of Heavenly Prison is just a one of. Like I said, you want to keep your monster count down. It only really comes up once, and I only really use this to really set a skill drain from deck if I need it, or if I'm in a dire need of a different trap, then I use it to set a different trap. But I mainly use it for that and the protection. Game 1, you don't really need it that bad because no one's really expecting this deck right now. For the spells, we got 3 Prosperity. Prosperity is Prosperity. And then 3 Duality is another proxy I got. I sold my Dualities a long time ago, and I forgot to ask Dawson and Miguel if they had Dualities. Also, I was kind of impatient because I really wanted to get this deck out to you guys, the list out to you guys, and then let y'all know what else I've been playing in this format. But yeah, once Miguel told me I was allowed to borrow the deck, I was like, hell yeah, dude! I'll just borrow the deck, and so I can profile it. But yeah, 3 Duality. The last spell is the other card beside Lady that made me fall in love with this deck is Labrynth. Labrynth. A lot of people are cutting this card, and I don't understand why. I really don't. This card gives you such an advantage that other control decks don't have access to, and that's being able to pop cards. It's just, or being a monster reborn is so huge. It is so huge in a grind game state too, or trying to force a simplified game state, or in the mirror match. Yes, the mirror match boils down to who gets to the Eradicator first, but it also comes up with this too, because this can help slow your opponent down from getting to Eradicator or popping their Eradicator and you're surviving. Labrynth, outside of Lady, is the 100% reason why I fell in love with this deck. Labrynth is nasty. Now we get to the good part. Can we skip to the good part? 3 Imperm and 3 Evenly, because why not? These are like our go second cards besides Ash. Imperm is like dead against like trap tricks and the mirror, mainly the mirror. I mean, it only really like you can still hit the main deck monsters and trap tricks, but like I'm not really worried about trap tricks. This deck, like pound for pound, is just better than trap tricks in my personal opinion. I'm sorry if that offends people, but it's the truth. Evenly is just a blowout card, and it's a normal trap, so why not? Now to the actual engine. We got 3 welcome labyrinths. Very good. Basically, e-tele for anything in the deck. Monster for an engine, and then 3 of the best one. Originally, I liked welcome more than big welcome, but big welcome is so freaking disgusting. The fact that it's a compulsory evacuation device, while like it's insane. This card is absolutely absurd. It should not. This card is nuts. The level advantage you get off of this is cracked. Like sometimes you can dodge imperms with this because if you have a level 8 fiend on board, you can bounce a monster or a card you control or whatever, and then or you can bounce a card your opponent controls, which is really nasty too. So like the fact you can do either or, and like let's say you use normal summon Ariana, and then they chain imperm, you could just chain this from grave to bounce the Ariana back to hand to dodge the imperm. And in some situations where you're facing down to evenly, which is like the only real blowout card against this deck, obviously, if you don't see Lord of Heavenly Prison and stuff like that, then Duster and stuff can too. But it's fine. I mean, it's not fine, but it is what it is. But the worst one is evenly. There's some situations where I would use the graveyard effect of this, bounce the Ariana back to my hand if I had Ariana on the field to be able to have follow up for the next turn, because a lot of people are like, oh, well, all I got to do is blow out the traps and then I don't have to worry about nothing else because I forced them in simplified game state, which partially is correct. But being able to chain your traps and then bounce the Ariana back to your hand to provide follow up, and then keeping the lady on board or whatever is really like huge. I don't know. I just find it really crazy. And then my favorite trap in the entire deck, Terrors of the Overroot. This card is disgusting. This is arguably, in my personal opinion, one of the most busted traps I've ever read in my life. Being able to board manipulate is huge in this format. Absolutely huge. Um, so like I just want to maximize on this. Granted, there are some matchups where this isn't good, like trap tricks and stuff like that. But like I don't know. Originally, I was testing 2 of this and 3 compulse. You can do whatever you want, but I like 3 terrors because the only time like terrors is not like good is in like maybe the mirror match or um, maybe trap tricks and a couple of other decks. But against like cash, it is absolutely disgusting. So just being able to manipulate their board and giving them a monster that they don't need and they can't use is just huge. And it goes very far. All right, I'm back. All right. But no, yeah, Terrors over the Overroot is absolutely disgusting. Being able to manipulate boards, and for the past several formats, being able to manipulate boards is huge. So, I don't know. I really like it. You can run 3 compulse if you want. I would not judge you if you did. Um, More traps. Speaking of compulse, my gorgeous gold rares. A lot of people don't like gold rares, but I love them. I've had these for a long time. 2 punishment. Punishment is really nasty of just helping you advance your game state while denying your opponent board presence. 1 eradicator, 1 FTK. Don't know why the card's legal. It's so stupid. And then the last card in the extra and in the main deck is the skill drain, and this is the other proxy. These cards are they're just nasty. They're just very nasty. Only run 1 skill drain because it's only an emergency button, and I can easily dig for it with my 6 draw cards, or you get easy access to it through Lord of Heavenly Prison. So I don't think you need more than 1, but that's just me because it only slows down the game state long enough for you to regain card advantage with your normal traps in it, because they're going to be obviously focused on trying to out the skill drain instead of paying attention to the other stuff. So that's the only reason why I run 1, because even if they out it at that point, you're so far ahead they're not coming back because you're just going to destroy them. And your ladies are huge too, so yeah, it makes it harder to get over too. The extra deck is obviously going to be in different sleeves because I haven't sleeved them up yet, but the extra deck doesn't matter to a degree except for this one. Mudcracker is very good. Gets you your fiends back from the graveyard. It's really nice if you don't have access to Labrynth. Um, two of the Tri Brigade arms of whatever. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name. This card's only good to be able to dump this. Well, this. So you can draw one off punishment and stuff like that. So, and another card that I run the side. Granted, I'm not going to show you a side, but I'm going to list off my side, and then you can build your side to where what you see fit. Garua, 2 Zeus, and how we make the Zeus is with Ding because our fiends are level 8. Guess what? 2 level 8s makes Ding, and then you can use Ding, attack, and attack as long as you're not fiend lock, of course, from the welcomes. Then 2 Entis. Entis is Entis. It pops. 1 Nightmare Phoenix. 1 Omega. And supposed to be 2 Dragoon. Why Dragoon? Because I side the Dragoon package. Why do I side it and not main it? Is because I don't really want to let my opponent know I'm on it when I go first. Because if I go first, then I basically out resource them anyways because I'm going first because I have all my traps. Then if I'm going second, they're facing down a Dragoon because they're not used to seeing Dragoon. Definitely if I opened Pot of Duality, they're not going to think I'm on the Dragoon package anyways. I like the idea of surprise because when I'm going second, I side out the pot package because I mean not the pot package, but the Duality package, which is still a pot, but not the Prosperities. I side out the Lord of Heavenly Prison, Dualities, and then a couple of other cards because they're not going to help me when I'm going second. Dragoon might seem like Dragoon doesn't help me going second, but it really does because it gets a big beater on board, and he's huge. And we used Red Eyes and Dark Magician, so we get the double pop. Can be targeted, and him paired with Lady is just game over. If they don't have Kaiju or Lava Golem, you just win. Another reason why I run Omega, by the way, is because I run Gamma package in the side deck. You can run the Gamma package in the side deck if you want, but the main reason is I run the Ultimate Slayer. The fact that I've seen a lot of Labrynth players not run Ultimate Slayer in the side deck, the spell card Ultimate Slayer. If you don't know what it is, look it up. If you know, then you know. Ultimate Slayer in this deck is absolutely free freaking real estate, and it helps out literally everything, and it really ties in part of the weakness to this deck and tries to make it a full circle by covering the bases of what's our weaknesses against certain like negates or in a big problematic cards and stuff like Mirror Jade and stuff. Mirror Jade is a big issue for this deck because it non-target banishes, which you just outs your ladies because your ladies are only protection is can't be just targeted or destroyed by card effects, and non-target banishment is a problem for us. So you got to have some kind of out for that. That's why we're running fusions and all these other stuff to be able to cover. Because with our extra deck, we have coverage for every single summoning mechanic in the extra deck. Ultimate Slayer is just too free, and they can't respond to it. So why not run it? But I side the Dragoon package, so yeah, 2 Dragoon clears up the extra deck. The side deck, if you want to know what I'm running currently, I'm running 3 Solemn Judgment because I know a lot of people are going to be asking, why am I not running Judgment? I don't want to run Judgment in the main, mainly because it's a counter trap, and I don't want too many non-normal traps to be able to chain to my ladies. I like Solemn Judgment, but I don't like it in the main because we're already running a bigger engine anyways that's not traps in our ladies, our ashes, our pots, and our all of our monsters to help us get into our engine to where it's literally split between I have it up on my screen right here so I can tell you 22 traps, 11 monsters, and 7 spells. So with that being the case, your traps, even though you obviously have double the traps than you do monsters, your percentage is going to go down if you run more non-normal traps, if that makes sense. So it's harder to get into your engine, and I don't want to do that. I only really want Solemn Judgment to stop 2 cards, and that's, well, 3 cards. Duster, Lightning Storm, or Evenly. Those are the only things I want to stop. I don't really give a crap about anything else because my engine can take care of everything else. So, but my side deck is 3 Judgment, 1 Trap Tricks because it's free, the second copy of Eradicator, the second copy of D-Barrier, 2 Ultimate Slayer, 2 Red Eyes Fusion, 1 Duster, 2 Nib, and the Red Eyes and the Dark Magician. That is my side deck that I'm currently running. If you wanted to run the Gamma package, you could drop the nib and a trap trick if you want to. I just like trap trick because it's a third copy or a fourth copy of every single trap in my deck, normal trap that is, and I can activate it that turn, so it's free. Why not? But if you were to cut anything, I would cut the nibs, um, the trap trick, that, and then you can cut one of the red eyes fusions, or you can cut the last D barrier or the last eradicator. The reason why I say you can cut one of those two is because since in this list we run Lovely, Lovely could just reset whatever of the second copy of the one that you used. Because indirectly, you don't really need the second copy of D barrier or the second copy of Eradicator, unless it were to get banished or something by like a Rise Hard or something like that, because Lovely will be able to just continuously reset it from grave, and you basically have infinite amounts of those cards to your disposal, in which indirectly makes your deck more consistent because you don't have to worry about top decking it after you resolve it. So you can just worry about top decking the other utility cards to help you advance your game state. So my personal opinion, I would keep the second Red Eyes Fusion in there, because if they ash the first one, then you're not running two bricks in your deck, being the Dark Magician or the Red Eyes, because now you have no way of summoning it. So if you run two Red Eyes Fusion, if the first one gets ashed, then you're still good to see it off of pot or drawing it and top decking it. So you're still fine. So if you're wanting to run the Gamma package to make your coverage for your pots like more protected, then I would drop the nibs, the two nib, and the two extra traps, the last D barrier and the last eradicator, or the trap trick, whatever one, mixture of those three. But with that being said, guys, this is the deck, the main, the extra, and the side. I hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoyed talking to you guys. I feel like I haven't talked to you guys in a while. I say that every video. I'm sorry, I can't help it. I just enjoy talking to you guys and giving you all my opinion and helping you all be the best duelists that you all can be. But with that being said, guys, please hit the like button if you haven't already. Hit the bell, subscribe, and the bell notification so you never miss an upload. Check the description for the merch store, Patreon, all that. Get your D.D.D merch down there, and check the other ways to support your boy. I love you guys so much for it. It's your boy Brendan, a.k.a. Drip, signing out. Till next time. Peace. Good dueling, my guys.